Okay, dear students, welcome to this class. So, already in the last classes, we were regarding about the different separation methods of substances. And what you have learned in that class, separation of immiscible liquids by using separating funnel and separating miscible liquids by using the distillation method. So that distillation method it is used to separate the miscible liquids. Miscible means the two liquids can mix each other. Immiscible means they do not mix each other. To separate miscible liquids, we use the distillation method. So that distillation method is worked on the principle of which works on the principle different boiling points of the two substances, two liquids. So which substance has very low boiling point, you start to boil first and evaporate, and when you condense it, it again turns into liquid form. So by knowing that different boiling points of the two liquids, we can easily separate that liquids by using a distillation method. In case of immiscible liquids, what we use separating funnel. It's very easy method is there. Understand? So let's come in this class. What we are going to discuss is separation of mixtures by using more than one method. Separation of mixtures by using more than one method. Here we are going to learn about separation of these mixtures by using more than one method. In which cases, see one example is there. Take a beaker. Understand? Take a beaker and water in it. Take a beaker and water in it. You are taking what? Water in it. Try to do this activity. Very simple is there in your home. Try to it. So take a beaker and water in it and take what? Salt. Salt, you know, common salt what we are using in our kitchen. Crystalline salt, common salt. Take that salt and pour it in a water and stir it well. What happens, sir? Salt completely dissolve in water. Is it happen or not? Yes, salt can completely dissolve in water. And in another case, take sand. What? Sand. Take sand. Take some amount of sand and pour it in a beaker and stir it well. See what happens. Observe when you are adding sand to it. It seems to be first dissolve in water, but let it for some time. Let keep this beaker undisturbed for some time. All sand particles settle down at the bottom of this beaker. All sand particles settle down at the bottom of this beaker. Okay. Now you have the mixture of sand and salt in water. You have mixture of salt and sand in a water. Okay. Here we are having the mixture of sand and salt. Sand plus salt plus water is there. Understand? Here three substances are there. Sand is there, salt is there, water is there. Now we want these three substances separately. Which method you use, sir? That is separation of mixtures by using more than one method. Let's see. How can we separate these substances from mixture? Okay. Which method we have to use first, sir? See, when you kept this beaker undisturbed for some time, what you observe? All sand particles are comes down and settle at the bottom. Yes or no? Now you want to separate this sand from the salt solution. Here already you are adding salt to water. Salt is completely dissolved in water. Yes or no? Now we want to separate first sand. What you want? Which method you use, sir? Very easy is the sedimentation method. Sedimentation method means just kept this beaker undisturbed for some time. All sand particles, because they are heavy, they are heavier particles. Hence all sand particles comes down and they settle at the bottom. That process we call what it is sedimentation method. Then what we have to do next method? Use decantation method. Which method? Decantation. Understand? Use a decantation method. So here method what we method use? Sedimentation method. Here you are using sedimentation method. In next case we have to use what? Decantation method. What you do in this decantation? See, in a decantation method, what will you do, sir? So take this beaker slowly and pour this water in the another empty beaker slowly. Understand? So here you are using what? Filter paper. If you use a filter paper, that method we call this filtration. By using filtration and decantation, you can separate this salt solution and sand particles. Understand? So here in the filter, sand is remain. In beaker, what you get? Salt solution. What you get? Salt solution. Understand? By using filtration and decantation method, you can separate the sand particles separately. And in beaker, what you get? Salt solution. Understand? So here to separate, you have to separate salt from this water. You have to separate salt from this water. Which method do you use to separate the salt from water? Just think what I explained in the last classes. Which method? Yes, what is that? Evaporation method. Which method? Evaporation method. So take that beaker which contains salt water. Understand? Salt solution is there and heat that. Put it in a gas stove and heat it well. What happens, sir? The water start to evaporate. Heat that water until it turns into vapor form. So when water start to boil, it turns into vapor. It start to evaporate. Let it to evaporate. What remains in the glasses? What remains in the beaker? You can observe what? Salt is remained. Salt is remained in that beaker. Understand? Now we want to get water again. So when vapor comes out, just cool it. When water comes out from that beaker, just cool it. That process what we call is a condensation. Yes or no? When you cool the water vapor, that again turns to what? Water, liquid water. What method we are using here? Condensation. This method we call it is condensation method. Say students, here we are going what it is? Separation of mixtures by using more than one method. How many methods we are using here? Sedimentation method, filtration and decantation 3, and here evaporation and finally condensation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here to separate the mixture of salt, sand and water. How many methods we are used? Total 5 methods. Sedimentation, filtration, decantation, evaporation, condensation. While doing condensation, finally we get water again in the liquid state. So this is a method of separation of mixtures by using more than one method. Very simple is there. Try this activity or experiment in your home. Okay dear students, let's come the next part of your chapter is water, a universal solvent. Water is a universal solvent. In which page is the? See that. Water is a universal solvent. So water is generally called a universal solvent. Lot of solvents are there. But water is the only thing that is called universal solvent. Why, sir? For what reason? Why this water is called as a universal solvent? So reason is that water is called universal solvent because it can dissolve many things in it. It can dissolve many things in it. Water can dissolve many things in it. Because of that property, we call water is a universal solvent. What, sir? Many things means what, sir? Take sugar or salt crystal. They are solid state matter, yes or no? They are solid in state. The sugar and even salt, they can dissolve in water or not? Yes, they can easily dissolve in water. That means solid substance get also dissolved in water. Take milk and add to water. Milk is also dissolved in water. That means what? Liquid. Take not only milk liquid, acid. Take an acid. Add an acid to water. Acid also mix in water. They can dissolve in water. So that means liquids can also dissolve in water, solids can also dissolve in water. And you know about soda water? Soda, when you drink the soft drinks or soda water, soda, that contain what? Carbon dioxide, CO2. Carbon dioxide means what? It is a gas. Soda water, how do you know how it is prepared? By adding carbon dioxide to normal water. By adding carbon dioxide to normal water, then water turns into soda water. Soda means nothing but they don't contain any soda. They contain carbon dioxide. Even not only that soda, even soft drinks. What you are using, soft drinks, Coca-Cola, Thumbs Up, anything is there. They contain that is a carbon dioxide gas. That is, they are commonly called aerated drinks, you know. They are commonly called aerated drinks. That aerated drinks contain mainly gas, carbon dioxide. Here, carbon dioxide is a gas. It can also dissolve in water. Think, students. Why water we call it is a universal solvent? Because it can dissolve many things in it. Many things means even solid substance can also dissolve in water. Liquid substances can also dissolve in water, and even gaseous substances are also dissolve in water. So water has only thing. Water has is the only thing. They can dissolve many things in it. Because of this property, water is called a universal solvent. Understand? So solvent means what, sir? Before going to those solvents, see, you have to understand this term. Solution. Solution is there. Solution means what it is? It is a mixture of solute and solvent. It is a mixture of solute and solvent. Mixture of solute and solvent is called solution. Remember, solution is a mixture. Which mixture, sir? Mixture of solute and solvent. So solute and solvent means what, sir? Solute means dissolving substance. Solute means dissolving substance. Solute means what? It is a dissolving substance. Solvent means the substance in which dissolve. The substance in which dissolves. So very simple meanings are there. Solute means it is a dissolving substance. Dissolving ಕರಗುವ ವಸ್ತು. Solute ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕರಗುವ ವಸ್ತು. ಸಾಲ್ವೆಂಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕರಗಿಸಿಕೊಳ್ಳುವ ವಸ್ತು. ದ್ರಾವಕ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ದ್ರಾವಕ. ನಿಮಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು ಕರಗಿಸಿಕೊಳ್ಳುವ ವಸ್ತು ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಕರಗುವ ವಸ್ತು, ಕರಗಿಸಿಕೊಳ್ಳುವ ವಸ್ತು. ದ್ರಾವ್ಯ, ದ್ರಾವಕ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. Solute means dissolving substance. Solvent means the substance in which dissolve. I will explain with an example. See, here beaker is there. Beaker contain water. Here water is there. You are adding what? Sugar to it. You are adding sugar to it. So add sugar to this water and stir it well. Sugar is completely dissolved in water or not? Yes. What you get finally? Sugar solution. You get what? Sugar solution. You can take sugar or salt. If you dissolve salt, it becomes salt solution. If you dissolve sugar, it becomes sugar solution. But my question is that, can you identify the solute and solvent present in this sugar solution? Yes, very easy. Here dissolving substance is what, sir? Sugar. Dissolving substance is sugar. Hence sugar is a solute. Sugar is a solute in this solution. And which one is solvent, sir? ಕರಗಿಸಿಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದು ಯಾವುದಲ್ಲಿ? ಸಕ್ಕರೆಯನ್ನು ಕರಗಿಸಿಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದು ಯಾವುದು? ನೀರು. ಸೊ ಅದು ಏನು? ಸಾಲ್ವೆಂಟ್. ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಈಸ್ solvent. Here water is solvent. Yes, sir. So dissolving substance. Here we are dissolving what? Sugar in water. So sugar is called solute. Water is called solvent. Yes, sir, no, students. So hence we say mixture of solute and solvent is called solution. Mixture of solute and solvent is called solution. And remember, water is called universal solvent because it can dissolve many things in it. Okay, because of this reason we call water is called a universal solvent. Let's come the last part of this chapter. Last part of this chapter. Temperature and solubility is there. Temperature and solubility. Depend upon the temperature and solubility, we classify the solution into two different types: saturated solution and unsaturated solution. Saturated and unsaturated solution. What it means, sir? What it means saturated and unsaturated? Okay. Do this activity. I will explain very simply. Take a glass of water and take a sugar, or you can say use the salt. So take a salt and add it to water, glass of water, and stir it well. Salts can dissolve in water. Okay. Then take more amount of salt and dissolve in it. Then it can also dissolve in water. Then I can take a more salt and try to dissolve in water. It cannot dissolve. The more salt cannot dissolve in that water. Why, sir? The solubility of that water is over. The solubility of that water is over. Hence, it cannot dissolve more salt in it. So when you attain that condition, when no more salt can be dissolved in that water, so that solution is said to be saturated solution. That solution is to be saturated solution. Let's see. Saturated solution means a solution in which no more solute can be dissolved in a solvent. No more solute can be dissolved in a solvent at a given temperature is called a saturated solution. When no more solute can be dissolved in that water or any solvent, that solution is called what? Saturated solution. When now if you want to dissolve the more salt in that solution, just do one simple thing. Just add more water. Just add more water, then solution becomes unsaturated. Then solution becomes unsaturated. It's very simple. It's very simple to convert that saturated solution into unsaturated by adding just more water to it. Not water only, if you use any other solvent. Just add more solvent to that substance and the solution becomes what? Unsaturated. Unsaturated means what, sir? See, unsaturated solution, a solution in which more solute, a solution in which more solute can be dissolved in a solvent at a given temperature is called unsaturated. Understand? A solution in which more solute can be dissolved in that solvent. That solution we call it is a unsaturated solution. Understand? If no more solute can be dissolved in that solvent, that is saturated because solubility of that solvent is already over. Then you can't dissolve more substance or more solute in that. If you want to dissolve more solute in that solvent, just take more solvent. Just add any water, any solvent to it. Then it easily convert into unsaturated. Then you can add that solute to it. Understand? So depend upon that temperature and solubility, we classify the solution into two different types: saturated solution and unsaturated solution. Okay, dear students. So this is your chapter. Now your chapter is closed. This is your what it is? Separation of substances. So try to solve the exercise of this chapter. We will meet you again in the next class with the next chapter. And one thing is there, remember, in the next month, September 2nd onwards, your first test will be announced. And I given two chapters for that test, chapter 1 and chapter 2. Already you wrote the fair and yes or no. So please read them well and write the test. Okay. Prepare for that test, FA1 test. Okay. So we will meet you again in the next classes with the next chapter. Thank you for watching this class.